was the summer of 1989. My mom had just got back to the States from a mission trip to the Philippines. I was about 9 years old at the time, and it was great to have my mom back in the States, but little did we know she'd been followed home by a Filipino guy, and that night, he broke into our house. I remember laying on the living room floor. That's where I'd fallen asleep that night, and her room was right next to the living room. And I woke up to her frantic screaming. I mean, she ran out of her bedroom. I woke up in just enough time to see her jump over me on the floor and run out the back door. 30 seconds later, she came back in the house with the guy that lived next door to us, and began to explain what had happened, that this guy tried to mace her. He tried to drag her out of the house. And evidently her screaming and kicking had just caused him to be afraid enough to get out of the house. That night though, I mean, it was like fear became real to me. Through my early teen years, I was afraid of everything. I mean, fear really had a hold of my mind. I was really afraid of social settings. I mean, meeting new people, going to new places where there would be new people to meet. I just was so afraid of those situations, scenarios. I was the school hermit. I was the social outcast, and I liked it that way. I was so afraid of what people thought about me, to the point where in 8th grade, I went through a long season of anorexia. I was like 5'6", got down to 70 pounds. My mom was scared to death. It was just because I was afraid of what people thought. I had like every phobia known to man, it seemed like. I was petrified of storms. If I saw something going on in the clouds, I was not getting out of the house that day. I wasn't willing to take a risk with anything. I wouldn't ride an amusement park ride. I wouldn't start relationships with girls. I wasn't willing to take that risk. I wouldn't play school sports. Talk about hostage. My mind was literally behind bars. Everything I thought, said, or did ran through the filter